Dynamax Ho-Oh will be making its Pokémon GO debut this weekend, but before you play this event, we have put together a very clear guide as well as strategy to really help you guys maximize this day. From all the details to a counter guide, shiny rates, everything you would really need to know, you're in the right place. This is Dynamax Ho-Oh Raid Weekend. With Go With Us. As usual, let's get time and dates out of the way. Guys, DMAX Ho-Oh Raid Weekend will be taking place this weekend on Saturday the 31st starting at 6 a.m. running all the way until Sunday, February 1st at 9 p.m. So a total of 2 full days. This brings about our new Dynamax debut. DMAX Ho-Oh. DMAX Ho-Oh is a legendary fire and flying type Pokemon originally coming from the Johto region in Generation 2. DMAX Ho-Oh will be taking over power spots the entirety of the weekend. It's going to cost you 800 max particles to enter, and you will only have a party of 4 to complete this. There hasn't been a confirmed shiny rate on these legendary DMAX days, but generally it follows around a 1 in 20 chance, which would be an incredible shiny to get. But how good will DMAX Ho-Oh be in Pokemon GO right now? Well, the best place to start is to have a look at its base stats. It has a max CP of 4367, which is very strong, an attack of 239, a defense of 244, and a stamina of 214. All of these stats are very good, but I wouldn't say any of them are great, bar the defensive side. Its fast attacks it'll have access to is going to be Steel Wing, Extra Sensory, Hidden Power, and Incinerate, and the charge moves it has access to is going to be Earthquake, Fire Blast, Solar Beam, Brave Bird, as well as Sacred Fire. We're going to confirm the rankings in a little bit, but from what we're seeing here, a pretty strong start. Before I begin, I have an incredible way to give you 9 free Ho-Oh DMAX rates without spending a cent. Let's get straight into it. The bonuses are going to be the max particle collection limit will be increased to 1600. It's going to be quarter adventuring distance to receive max particles. Normally you would have to walk 2 kilometers to get 300 particles. Now you would only have to walk 500 meters to get the 300 particles. Power spots will refresh more frequently every half an hour to spawn another DMAX Ho-Oh, and every single time you collect max particles from a power spot during this weekend, you will get 800 max particles, and it can be 820 if it's the first one you've spun. To get 9 free Ho-Oh raids, this is the first thing we need to consider. There will be a free timed research for all trainers where it's pretty much going to award us 1 Dynamax Kabuto encounter, but most importantly, it's going to award us max particles, more specifically 1500 of them. Stop. Do not claim these max particles until you reach the weekend. Let's go through our strategy now. First and foremost, as we know, outside of this event, we can hold a max particle collection limit of 1500. On the Thursday or Friday, I want you guys to get as close to that 1500 limit as possible, because remember, it is a soft cap. Let's say you got to 1400 max particles and then you collected another 300 with walking 2 kilometers. You're then going to have 1700 max particles. Once the weekend begins, I then want you to claim the timed research, which grants us 1500 max particles. So now you would have 3200 max particles off the bat. That is 4 Ho-Oh raids straight away. But it doesn't end there. Remember that the collection limit will be increased to 1600 every day, but that is also a soft cap. What you can do is complete those 4 DMAX raids, which then would leave you with 0 particles. From there, I want you guys to collect max particles from a power spot. First and foremost, you're going to get 800. From there, I want you guys to walk another 1 kilometer, and that's going to award you another 300, and then eventually another 300, which is going to get you 600. Then I want you guys to go to another power spot and collect another 800 particles, which is going to leave you with 2200 max particles. You could then use those up and then eventually do the exact same thing the next day, which eventually, if you do everything right, that's going to grant you about 9 free Ho-Oh raids. Very underrated stat. If you guys are wanting to upgrade your experience for a total cost of $5, please consider getting the ticket. It's going to award you another timed research, which is going to grant you 6,400 additional max particles, 25,000 XP, 2 times XP for completing these max battles, including increased candy as well as XL candy for completing these 5-star max battles. If you are looking at doing this, please would you consider buying this ticket through the web store. You will be able to stack up your Go points over time to collect those premium items on the track. And additionally, if you did buy this through the web store, you are going to get 1 additional premium pass. Those are the main details out of the way, but what is the best strategy and counter guide to take down DMAX Ho-Oh? Because to be honest, it is going to be a pretty difficult battle, especially because we can only enter this battle with a party of 4. Let's touch on our defenders first, or tanks. These are going to be the Pokemon that is going to tank as much damage as possible while having that half a second fast move to charge up the dynamax meter, and once it is charged, then we would switch into our attacker. Some of the best tanks you could use are going to be Suicune with Water Gun, Vaporeon with Water Gun, G-Max Lapras with Water Gun, Blissey with Pound, Zamazenta with Metal Claw, and potentially Omastar with Rock Throw, but this will require an Elite Charge TM. Now let's have a look at our best attackers, and D-Max Gigalith with Smackdown will definitely be one of your best bets. The other top attacker undoubtedly is going to be G-Max Inteleon with that Hydro Snipe. Following just behind them is going to be Omastar. You're going to need Rock Throw there as a D-Max attacker. We would also definitely consider G-Max Kingler with a G-Max Foam Burst, as well as G-Max Toxtricity with G-Max Stun Shock. But with all these attackers and defenders, sometimes it's difficult to decide which Pokemon should I even use, because it can get a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're playing with players that you're not very experienced with. Guys, first and foremost, I would strongly suggest, because Ho-Oh, if you have a look at that defense and HP stat, it's very high, which means it's going to be a very bulky Pokemon to take down. The best way to look at this is to have a look at its weaknesses. It is weak to electric and water, but it is actually double weak to rock, which means we have an incredible opportunity to take this Pokemon down. Everyone can pick their team based on their calculations, but I believe a team of something like Zamazenta starting the battle, as well as Omastar potentially as your two tanks, and then switching into a G-Max Inteleon or into a D-Max Gigalith is going to be your best bet here. As we know, Zamazenta will already enter the raid with one shield up, and if you do have the max shield leveled up, it'll have 2 or 3 available there for you, which is huge. Then with something like Metal Claw, it's going to be able to charge the Dynamax meter a lot quicker, so that once you enter the max phase, I want you then to switch into your attacker, which will definitely be your G-Max Inteleon or the D-Max Gigalith like we just explained. The thing is, you want to be doing as much damage as quickly as possible to Ho-Oh, because if you do not complete the raid within 6 minutes, it will effectively become enraged, which is going to make it more difficult to take down, and more than that, its attacks are going to be even more powerful. I would suggest if you don't even finish it in the 6 minutes, I would strongly consider restarting the raid and rethinking your strategy. But there are ways to make this raid a little bit easier for you, and first and foremost, I want you guys to consider the adventure effects of Crown Sword Zacian as well as Crown Shield Zamazenta. With Crown Sword Zacian, you will get an attack boost to every Pokemon in the lobby, and the same as Zamazenta, you will get a defensive boost for every Pokemon on your party. Number 2, I would consider using something like a Max Mushroom. This will also take your attack value even higher. Please consider using Eternatus's Dynamax Cannon. This is going to level up your max moves by 1 level. So if you already maxed out a Pokemon at level 3, it's actually going to kick up to level 4, so it's going to do even more damage for you. Then the next thing, a lot of people overlook this, but once you click on the power spot, you will almost see like these punching gloves. If those gloves are empty, you're not going to get any attack boost, but if you maybe have 3 of the 4 or 4 of the 4, you're actually going to get an attack boost even more so on top of everything else, which is going to make it a lot easier. Once you complete this Dynamax Ho-Oh raid, you will then get an encounter with D-Max Ho-Oh. That 100% IV is going to be 2207 at level 20. And again, that Ho-Oh will probably follow a 1 in 20 shiny rate. But what are some rewards coming from this? Well, in 5-star D-Max battle, once you complete it, we're going to get 15,000 Stardust, 15,000 XP, 1 rare XL candy, 10 Ho-Oh candy, 1 Ho-Oh XL candy, as well as 10 Premier Balls. Now, there is a way to upgrade that, but first and foremost, let's talk about Lucky Egg and Star Piecing, especially when you do this in a party. You could share items in party play so that everyone receives the benefits for a total of 15 minutes at a time. This is very important because the reason why is that if you did have a Star Piece running, you would then be getting 25,000 Stardust per raid. If you have a Lucky Egg running, you're going to be getting 30,000 XP per raid. Then you could even upgrade this even further with a total of 200 Pokecoins to get another 15,000 Stardust, another 15,000 XP, 1 rare XL candy, and more, which means with everything stacked on top of one another, you could be getting 60,000 XP for completing one of these 5-star raids. Incredibly powerful. But with all that out of the way, as we said in the beginning, is D-Max Ho-Oh even going to be good in 2026? Well guys, because it is a fire and flying type legendary Pokemon with not the highest attack stat, it's going to be more of a bulky Pokemon. And unfortunately, as a max attacker, it's only going to be the 5th best fire type attacker in the game, falling behind things like G-Max Cinderace and G-Max Charizard. Those are undoubtedly going to be your best fire types. However, on the defensive side, this could be a bulky option, but remember, the big thing that's hurting D-Max Ho-Oh is this: have a look at its fast attacks. Even though it has 4 different types of fast attacks, none of them are half a second fast moves, and as we know, that is what we really need to charge the Dynamax meter quickly. So unfortunately, as a D-Max Pokemon, it's not going to be the most useful. However, remember that every single Dynamax Ho-Oh you complete will then have a base floor of 10 10 10, so you really have a good opportunity to try and get a 96, 98, or even hundo of this Pokemon that you could use as a D-Max attacker. But outside of the Dynamax function in Pokemon Go, this Pokemon is brilliant right now in the match Master League. It's currently hovering around the 20th spot, and even Shadow Ho-Oh, which I know a lot of us have from previous events, is also a very good fire type attacker. Then, to maximize this event even further, I'm going to talk about two different things here, and the first one is going to be candy gains. As we mentioned before, you are going to get a candy reward coming from the raids, but you're also going to get 3 candy for every single catch you make. I would strongly consider throwing a Pineapple Berry or Silver Pineapple Berry and try and pair this with something like Black Kyurem and White Kyurem's Free Shock or Ice Burn to get your catch multiplier. But there's another 2 layers here that are very important. Please remember to Mega Evolve a Mega Level 3 Flying or Fire type Pokemon in the background for the entirety of this event, because you are going to get even more candy as well as an extra XL candy chance with a 25% chance at Mega Level 3, and even more so, a lot of people have overlooked this. Please do not forget that on February the 1st, which is going to be the Sunday, is going to be Vulpix and Alolan Vulpix Calm Day, and the bonus in that hour is going to be 2 times catch candy, and that's going to stack on top of everything as well. So guys, the next big thing we want to mention is try and get to level 75 of your pass. The reason why is that it's pretty much going to increase the rewards coming from these max battles as well as raids, and let me just tell you, we've seen some incredible examples of people getting a lot of rare candy or rare XL candy just because of this bonus as well, which is really going to stack everything together. If you guys want to see everything going on in Pokemon Go this week, we will leave it as our end screen to make sure you don't miss anything that's happening this week. We release these episodes every single Sunday. Guys, we stacked this video for you. You are now fully prepared to take on this day. Please smash that like, subscribe, but more importantly, that hype button. We want this video to travel as far as wide as possible, and we can only do this with your support. We're growing every day, and we really love the support you guys are giving us. Love you guys. Go with us, and we'll catch you in the next one, baby.